Hello, Tea Room Secrets. This is something that I've been wanting to put together for a little while because it's kind of fundamental to your business. And I'm hoping in this training that you will get a few ideas on how to actually implement this in your business for yourselves. And it's really important to understand the core focus of your business on what it is and what it is not. I like to think of it as knowing what business you are in and what business you're not in. And this came to me when I was developing my own business and deciding, do I want to blend my own teas or do I want to run a tea room? And I found, or the way I was feeling about it was blending my own tea was a whole business in its own right, really. And was that really what I wanted to do? I didn't really have a passion for that. Obviously, I enjoy good tea and I had some ideas for some of the tea blends that I wanted to bring to market, but I didn't want to actually do the physical blending. And for one thing, it means you have to have so many different ingredients and you need room for that. And I just did not have the space. So I very early on decided that, yes, I did want to create my own blends, but I was going to work with my tea merchant to actually put those recipes together for me. And I was very lucky that I did find someone to do that. So like I say, I think of this as knowing what business you're in and what business you are not in. So I just want to go through 3 steps or 3 areas for you to have a think about while you're defining your business. So first of all, we need to be looking at defining your business identity. It's the first step really in knowing what you're about. It goes beyond just the product or the service you offer. It involves understanding your mission and values and your long-term goals. So there's a few questions to ask, like, what is the purpose of my business? What are the core values that guide my decisions? For example, I didn't want to use eggs that were not organic. That was just something that I had as a core value. So even though I was doing a lot of baking, I wanted to be able to source local eggs that were organic. So just one example there. And also have a look at who your target audience is or your ideal customer. Now, for some, it might be a more traditional type of tea room. For another, it might be a younger generation of tea lovers who perhaps are drinking tea for the health benefits. So being able to actually drill down and have a think about who that target audience is or your ideal customer is very, very important. And then also think about what problem does your business solve for your customers? And I know as a tea room owner, you're probably thinking, well, what problem do I solve? Well, you're providing this little sanctuary. You are taking people away from the stress of the day or the stress of the world in general. And you are providing this safe haven, this hug of a space, if you like. And the problem it solves is the noise and the stress, and it's somewhere to come to relax. So you have to really think about this quite deeply, and I'm just giving you the overview. In fact, we do have a whole training in the Business Vault that is about finding your right client and actually identifying who they are and what kind of struggles they're going through. And I'll probably give you a few more examples of that as we go through this. So by answering those kinds of questions, you'll have a clearer picture of your business identity, which will help you stay focused on what your business is truly about, because it can be very easy to get distracted. So number 2 is understanding your niche and your differentiation. Now, yes, as a tea room owner, you're very different to a regular restaurant, but you're actually still competing with them. Because, basically you're offering a lunch or an afternoon tea, you're offering food in a commercial environment. So that's important that you know what your niche and differentiation is within the tea room opposed to other restaurants, but also what is your niche and differentiation between the nearest tea room to you. And I know some of you don't have a tea room within miles, and you become a bit of a destination because of that. But then why would they come to you rather than going somewhere else? You really need to think about that. So knowing your niche really helps you determine not only what your business is, but also what it's not. And to do that, we need to look at what our competitors are doing and understand what other businesses in your industry are offering and how they position themselves, not to copy them, but to do something a little different so that you have some point of differentiation. When I had my tea rooms in Carmel, I had a tea room open not far away, maybe 5 miles away, and it was run by another English lady. And it was like, well, my point of differentiation of being a British owner of a tea room offering a British style tea was kind of compromised because she was doing something similar. And it was like, okay, so what is our point of differentiation? And we came up with a whole host of things that we did very differently. She Americanized a lot of her menu. I didn't. We stayed quite authentic. So little subtleties like that are important. And then we had another restaurant actually opened who was offering afternoon tea. It wasn't a tea room per se, it was a cafe restaurant, and they were starting to offer afternoon tea. And I remember my team coming to me and saying things like, what are we going to do? Are we going to change our price? Are we going to change our branding? Are we going to try and be like them? And it's like, no, we're not going to be like them. We're going to go deep with what we are about. Because I had a very clear idea of what business I was in and what business I wasn't in, even down to the colors that we chose in our branding, I wasn't going to sway from that. In fact, we were going to go deeper and deeper and deeper with that. And we did more British themed events, and we just went deeper with the Britishness, if you like. So that's important, that you do look at what other people are doing, not to copy, but to be different. Then also looking at your unique selling points that set your business apart from others. For example, we would open on a Friday evening and do British fish and chips, which other tea rooms weren't doing. And we didn't have a British themed restaurant doing that sort of thing either. So that kind of set us above. So there's little things like that that you could consider doing yourself. And you need to look at how you can innovate your products and services and how you can hone in on a specific target market. One of the services that we offered was to help stressed mothers of the bride to organize their bridal shower. And we touched on some of the pain points that we understand that mothers of the bride have organizing these things. So we took the headache away of organizing the bridal shower, and we put lots of things in place which meant that it was very repeatable for us, but also touched on all those pinch points and all those stress markers that a mother of a bride might have. And that went into our marketing, and it gave us a unique selling point. And then obviously defining your core offering, clearly defining your products and service and what specific needs they address in your niche. And knowing your niche can really make your business unique. And it helps you to stop chasing opportunities that are outside of your expertise, like my tea blending scenario. And it also gives you focus, and it helps you to go deep with what you do. So you're not just the same as everybody else, or flippantly thinking, oh, I do baby showers and bridal showers, but let's look at why that is important to your particular target audience, for example. And then looking at setting boundaries and avoiding distractions, because it can get a little bit like that. We can bounce around a little bit too much. And once you've established that business, it's equally important to know what is not something you're going to do. It's outside of your boundary, and you're staying true to that core mission. And it can be challenging, especially as those opportunities arise. But this is how we can kind of maintain focus. First of all, create that mission statement, summarize your business's purposes and values, and make it a concise statement. And that's going to be your reference point for decision making. And that's something I did very early on. And we rolled out across the 4 tea rooms that we had. And then develop a business plan. This isn't about trying to get finance. It's not that kind of business plan. This is getting all the ideas out of your head onto a page or two. Outline your short-term and long-term goals with the strategies that you are hoping to implement to achieve them, and then stick to that plan, but revise it regularly. I see so many people writing a business plan and then just sticking it in a drawer and then never look at it again. What we should be doing is reviewing it as we have new ideas. We should be reviewing it when we add new products or services and adding that in and checking back that it's matching the mission statement and we're developing a business plan. It's not just do it once and forget about it. It has to be a developing, living document. And then evaluating opportunities. So when those opportunities do come along, we can assess whether or not it aligns with those missions and goals that we've come up with. And if it doesn't, it is okay to say no. And remember that saying no to opportunities that don't align with your core business is often as important as saying yes to the right ones. So I hope by emphasizing these 3 main points that you can see that as a business owner or an entrepreneur, that you better understand the business and truly identify and stay focused on what truly matters for your success. Hope you found this useful. If you have, let me know. I'm always keen to hear from you. And if you haven't joined the monthly membership for the Business Vault yet, just to remind you, for $97 per month, you get access to all the content that I produce, all the trainings that I have produced, and all the business resources that I created whilst running my own tea rooms, my own tour company, my own range of teas, and many other things that I ended up doing. But it was all very British, so I don't Americanize anything. It's all very authentically British. So if that speaks to you and you'd like to join me on our monthly membership, where you get to speak to me one-on-one in a group scenario each Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 7 p.m. Local time for me in the UK. We do have a switchover from summertime, British summertime, to GMT, which is Greenwich Mean Time, just like you have a change of time as well. They are not on the same week, so for those weeks I'll let you know if there are any adjustments to be made. So until next time, looking forward to hearing about your tea journey. Bye for now.